mga kaigsuunan is dili na mo yung dagway. If everything is random. Okay? If everything is random. But in nature, if we are going to study nature deeply, we can really say that there is this pattern, and this is what scientists are actually studying, the patterns and designs in nature. Okay? So what else? So what is a theory? By the way, what is a theory? So theory is an idea or set of ideas used to explain facts or events. Mao ni atong kuanan ha, because this is a common misconception even among higher biology or higher nga science students. Okay? May siya, it's just a theory. But mind you, theory is a very powerful tool in biology or even in science. Okay? Because take note that a theory is a statement or an idea that can use to explain certain events or facts. Okay? One may have different theories, and only those that can best explain will be generally accepted. Okay? So pananglitan na ay bangga dinha sa unahan. Inigawas nato ba na ay bangga? So daghang kay tag theory. Unsa man ang nagbangga? Nganong nagbangga man? Nga nagbangga kay nakatulog ang driver. That's one theory. Nagbangga na kay nawalaan og brake. That's another theory. Ngayon nagbangga na sila kay nagbangga lang. Okay? That's another theory. Pero among those three theories and other theories, which of the following theories can best explain nganong naibangga? That is theory. Okay? So, for instance, if I am going, this is actually my favorite nga illustration. If I am going to throw this clicker from the pulpit din sa inyong atubangan, asa man ni siya motugpa? Paubos gyud ang iyang direction. Because, maingon ko nga, ang akong theory ani is, even though nga dili ni nako ilabay, but I know nga moana gini siya sa ubos because there is gravity. Why is it nga dili ko moingon nga pataas? Because there is no anti-gravity. Nganong moingon ko nga dili siya pa sideways? Because gravity works nga i-pull ang tanang objects down. Okay? So even though nga dili nako i-actualize og labay ni siya, I know kung asa ni siya nako puniton. Nakuha ninyo ang theory? Okay. So let's continue. So theories can change as more evidences are generated. For instance, the geocentric theory and kaning gitawag tog heliocentric theory. Heard of this? Ever heard of this? Geocentric? Now, for thousands of years, katong mga ancient nga mga civilization, they believe that the earth is actually the center of the universe. Okay? Money beliefs sa kuan ha sa mga ancient civilization. That is geocentric theory from the word geo, which means earth, and centric, which means center. Okay, ma-blame ba nato ang mga ancient civilization nga ni-propose ani? No, we cannot. Because bisag ikaw pa magtindog pa gani ka, and then tan-aw ra na ninyo mong bituon ug ang mga adlaw. Tan-aw nimong adlaw mo rise in the east and sets in the west. So rise in the east, the following day, sets in the west. So with the stars, nagtuyok-tuyok na. And you will not feel the earth rotating. So niingon ka nga, stable ang planet, and then nagtuyok-tuyok ra gyud ang langit. So meaning to say, we are at the center of the universe. That is geocentric theory. But because of the works of Nicholas Copernicus, because of the works of Johannes Kepler and Galileo, niingon sila, no, it's not. That the earth is just part of what we call the solar system. So it is us who revolves around the sun, and ang kaning movement sa sun and moon nga nagtuyok-tuyok lang is because of the rotation of our planet. So, naay bag-o nga mga evidence. So for 4,000 years, gihold tong geocentric theory, but as new evidences came in, okay, hinahinay tog eliminate ang geocentric theory o gipulihan og heliocentric theory. Mao na nga helio, which means the sun. So it is the sun as the center of the solar system. Mabitaw na nga science actually keeps on digging evidences because what we know today may not be true tomorrow. That is science. Okay? What we know today may not be true tomorrow. So there are a lot of theories that will change in the future. What else? So in biology, the theory of evolution is considered the best explanation for the origin of life. So diin man gikan ang tanan, because this is one of the fundamental questions in biology. Where do life come from? O sayo na kayo sa mga Sabadista moingon nga, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. Where is your proof? Because science is evidence-based. Okay? Take note that science is evidence-based. If you cannot prove creation, then creation will not hold nga kanang possible explanation for the origin of life. Okay? Nakuha ninyo? Okay? Nakuha ninyo? Okay. So, evolution is a scientific theory that can be simply defined as the gradual change in an organism over time. So, mao ni siya duha ka concept sa evolution. That is the gradual, hinay-hinay siya, and that is over time. So, you have to give organisms pila ka millions of years aron mo change siya because hinay-hinay man, gradual. So, maybe one change, tag 10 million years, another change, 10 million years, so on and so forth. Okay? So, what else? It is popularized by Charles Darwin. Of course, I know that most of us here know who Charles Darwin is. And his book, Origin of Species, was published in 1859, and this is the Holy Grail of evolution. Mao ni siya ang Holy Grail. The Holy Bible of evolution is the origin of species by means of natural selection. So kung imong i-sum up ang kaning book ni Darwin, it can be summed up or summarized sa survival of the fittest. Kadungog mo ana, di ba? Survival of the fittest. So niingon si Darwin nga ang beginning nganong mo originate or nganong mo survive ang usa ka organism is magcompete ang mga organism sa resources. So if you are not able to compete with other organisms, magutman ka, magkasakit ka, mamatay ka. Ang katong nakakaon, ang katong dili magsakit, mao toy mo survive. So mo nang gitawag og origin of species by means of nature or the survival of the fittest. So kung ni-survive ka sa usa ka environment, that means to say you are fitted for that environment. Okay? So moingon nga makes sense. Moingon ang mga scientists nga it makes sense. Because nganong wala may polar bear sa Pilipinas? Nganong wala may polar bear sa Pilipinas? Because wala may ice din and polar bear tolerates ice, the icy environment. And we don't have ice here. Ice siguro na sa refrigerator. Di ba? So, moingon po ta nga nganong wala may whale shark dito sa Antarctica? Because whale shark are only found in the tropical waters. Dinha ra gyud ang climate nila. So ni-adapt lang gyud dinha ang whale shark. Okay? Siguro kung mayon sila, siguro na ay whale shark dito sa Antarctica, pero wala ka survive, he is not fit. The whale shark is not fit for the Antarctic nga kind of environment. Okay. So the book of Darwin revolutionized the scientific world. Now this is actually part of the history and philosophy of science. Now, why is it that Darwin's Origin of Species book revolutionizes science? It is because for thousands of years, ang hold sa mga science nga ni origin ang kinabuhi is because there is God. Okay? So thousands of years. And take note nga sa history nato, historically, there is this one Christian church before, and that's the Roman Catholic Church. Okay? Diba? Sa una, before Martin Luther, there is only one Christian church. That's the Roman Catholic Church. And if you go against the teaching of the church, you will be branded as heretic. You are an enemy of the church, and you are either persecuted or you are executed. Not unless imuhang bawion kung unsa imuhang gistorya. Okay? So, that happened for pila ka thousands of years. Okay? So, daghan kay gipang execute witches, mga scientists that go against the doctrine of the church. Even Galileo. Okay? Galileo was actually branded as heretic. Katong time nga iyahang na-discover ang planet sa Jupiter. Okay? Niingon si Galileo nga, nituyok man gyud ang moon sa Jupiter. Nituyok man gyud bisag unsaon niya. By the time nga nakadungog ang church atong a time, gipriso, gipersecute si Galileo. And you know what? Because of the fear of his life, niingon si Galileo nga, joke ra bitaw to ako ah. Okay? Ihang gibawi. But you know what? Galileo died believing his theory. Okay? Hinana to siya ang nahitabo atong panahon. That's why, by the time na nga nigawas ang Origin of Species ni Darwin, even though that it is not scientifically reviewed, people started to celebrate nga at last, we are now free from the grip of Christianity. Free na ta sa grips of Christianity. And then, ang kato siya nga feeling, ni echo pa na siya even sa atoang modern nga times. That people, scientists particularly, celebrated the freedom that they had, okay, after thousands of years nga kaning gi-imprison ang ilahang idea. Okay? So, according to the book, that life was estimated at least 1.5 billion years or 3.5 billion years ago. Okay? Life, take note that dinha ni sugod ang life. That's according to that theory. 3.5 billion years ago. The explosion sa Big Bang is actually around 13.5 or 14 billion years ago. Pero life, mato 3.5 billion years ago. So, now, if the Christians have this what we call the tree of life, in evolution, there is also what we call the tree of life. This is known in evolution as the phylogenetic tree. The phylogenetic tree, mao ni siya ang nag-connect sa tanan nga organisms, and then it trace back na nimo, mura siya family tree. It trace back na nimo kung asa na siya gikan. Take a look at this one. Kanang naa sa pinakaubos gud, the first branch. Okay? Ang first branch is that actually represents kung asa or kinsa ang organism nga ancestor sa uban nga nag-branch. Okay? So kung kakita nimo kanang eukarya, kanang portion nga eukarya, naa din ha ang animal, fungi, plants. Who do you think is the closest nga group of organism sa animal? Unsa ang pinaka-close according to the phylogenetic tree? Unsa nga group? Oh, ay labot si Hadasa kay bag-o ra ni nag-systematic. Okay, it's actually fungi. Mao may pinaka-close nga branch. Okay, nakuha ninyo? May pinaka-close nga branch. What else? Just a little kuan. What about the plants? Kinsa ang pinaka-close nga related or pariente sa plants? That's the green algae, not the red algae. It's the green algae. That's according to the phylogenetic tree. So, if naana siya, imuha nang i-trace down mo, go back ka down into the phylogenetic tree, it will lead you to one common ancestor. Okay? One common ancestor. And in evolution, that ancestor would be bacteria. Okay? Gikan sa kagaw. So, tanan nga organism, plants, animals, fungi, algae, viruses, is nigikan siya sa bacteria. Okay? So, ang inyuhang lolo, kagaw. Okay? Kagaw. That's according to evolution. Okay. So, in evolution also, okay, naatay gitawag nga ancestor. Ako naman nag-mention ganiha ang ancestor. And naatay gitawag nga current nga species. Kanang ni-exist karon. Okay? In between, na ay mga intermediate nga mga species that will lead the gradual changes. Kung makita nimo din ha, do you think it changed? Kana nga graph, do you think the organism changed? Actually, ni-change siya. That's hypothetical. Okay? Ni-change siya, hypothetically. Okay? Because ang ancestors sa whales were once dog-like. Mga iro, murag iro. Okay? Mga utana ka, giyos na nila. Okay? Moto nga, nagsalig sila sa fossil records. Okay? And then, gi-hypothesized. But I will not go into the details of that. Okay? So, nakuha na to. So, naay ancestor, naay current species, and in between the ancestor and the current species is naakay mga intermediate nga mga species. What about this one here? Evolution of giraffe. So, that's basically how giraffe evolved according to evolution. Okay? Nga sa una daw panahon, ang mga giraffe is mugbo og liog. And then naay may kahoy nga mao para ilahang kanunon, di man sila kaabot. So later on, ni-evolve ang ilahang neck na dugangan og lain nga vertebra. Okay? Hangtod nga nitaas ilahang liog, hangtod nga nitaas ilang liog, hangtod nitaas ilang liog, mao na nanay giraffe ron. Okay? So kung ang kanunon, ang kahoy or ang leaves nga ginakaon sa giraffe is sige gihapog tubo, so we will expect that giraffes will have more and or longer and longer nga neck. Okay? That is evolution. Okay? So here, are you familiar with the geology column? Okay, so when you say geology column, this is a hypothetical nga kanibitang section of kanang the different layers of rocks. Hypothetical because you cannot find one column nga makita ninimo siya tanan. Okay? So, ang tanaw nato nindinhi, ang kaning gitawag nito geology column, take note that fossils nakuha na siya sa sedimentary rocks. Okay, ang mga fossils. So, naaslay dating method, radioisometric nga mga dating method, so on and so forth. And then pakita nila nga kini siya nga rock, mo ni ang age niya. So meaning to say tigulang ni siya nga rock. Pag ingon niya nga bata-bata ni siya. So kung ang tigulang nasa ubos, ang bata-bata is nasa taas. So as you go upward sa geology column, the organisms tend to become younger. And those at the bottom tends to become older. And there is one section sa geology column known as the Cambrian explosion or the Cambrian. This is actually the age na siya mga particular nga mga ages based on the radioisometric datings. Now, I am highlighting this because this is a very significant nga findings sa geology or even in paleontology. Okay, kaning gitawag nato Cambrian nga era. And in this Cambrian era is very intriguing because there is what we call the explosion of life. Okay, so unsa man yung Cambrian explosion? This is actually one of the highlights for this afternoon's talk. So, what makes the Cambrian explosion interesting? Number one here is that fossil records revealed a sudden or kaning explosion of appearance of life. Okay? Take note ha, balik ta sa evolution. When you say evolution man good, is that gradual gyud siya. So from bacteria nahimong protozoa nahimong dako-dako hangtod dako, ni dako pag yun hangtod nga from single cell nahimo siyang multicellular organism hangtod nga from invertebrates nahimo siyang vertebrates. That is gradual. But in the Cambrian explosion, okay, ang fossils is nikalit siya og tunga variety of life, diversity of life without any ancestor. Sa lower nga stratum sa rock, sa geologic column. Walay ancestor. Okay? What else? Life forms suddenly become complex in a short period of time. Okay? Life become complex in a short period of time. Take note that gradual siya. Ang sa evolution believe nga gradual siya, hinay-hinay siya. And it takes millions and millions of years. But in the Cambrian explosion, variety na siya, varied na ang life forms. At the same time, complex na siya. So when you say complex na gani, is that daghan na kay siyang functions, daghan na kay siyang parts, pero take note that this complexity is dili na nimo matrace back down to the geologic column, down to the evolutionary timeline. Okay? So mo na siya nga ang mga bacteria consider man siya nga simple, ang mga single-celled organisms is consider na siya nga simple. Pero complex na. Nanay mata, nanay tiil, okay? Nanay nervous system, pagani ang uban, which are actually complicated nga mga functions in an organism. How did they arrive there? Without any gradual nga changes over time. Okay? So, there are no intermediate fossils that can be traced. Remember, nakay current, and then nakay ancestor, dapat na intermediate, countless of intermediate species. But even though nga diverse kaayo na siya ang life forms, ang diversity sa Cambrian explosion, pero you can never trace one single ancestor that will connect them all, that will form their family tree, that will form their phylogenetic tree. Okay? What else? So, this Cambrian explosion is against the gradual change as proposed by evolution. That is a great opposition. So, mo ito, nangutana na ito nga, is the Cambrian explosion an exemption to the rule? O, nasa lusot. Basin exemption to the rule. But what if the Cambrian explosion is the rule? Okay? Is it an exemption to the rule sa evolution or is it the rule nga nigawas yun sila kalit? Okay? And even evolutionists acknowledge the complexity of life forms sa Cambrian fossils. Okay? Even the staunchest nga critic sa creationist will always agree on this matter. Even Stephen Jay Gould. Stephen Jay Gould is actually the Darwin of our time. He is the most kanabitang respected nga archaeologist or paleontologist sa ato ang time. Okay? So, most animal phyla appear here. Okay? So, I will not be discussing taxonomy. Animal phyla, that's actually diversity. Okay? So, take a look at this chart here. Kanang dotted lines, okay? Na ba ni pointer? Okay. Kaning dotted lines, nga nasa ubos sa kanang vertical or horizontal lines, those are actually what is expected from a Darwinian point of view. So gradual siya. So from the bottom is dapat na siya mga transitional fossils. Okay? That is kanang below sa horizontal lines. But what this fossil records, this Cambrian explosion found out nga na ay mga organisms nga ni-exist even until today, pero wala siya mumit sa expectation sa evolution. Mao na siya ang kung i-sum up nimo ang Cambrian explosion. Okay? Wala siya mumit ba? Wala siya mumit, dili siya opposite sinoon siya. Opposite siya sa kaning evolutionist point of view in terms sa origin of life. Okay. So another here. Okay? So makita ninyo din nga from the Cambrian explosion gikan kung ari ka sa imuhang sa right side ninyo, mao na siya ang origin. Pero sa Cambrian explosion, ang complexity sa life increases suddenly in a relatively short period of time. And in some books, describe na siya ang Cambrian explosion is a blink of an eye in millions of years. Blink of an eye lang i-compare siya sa millions of years of evolution. Suddenly, overnight, in a blink of an eye, nanggawas lang kalit ang mga complex nga mga animals. Okay, and what else? In the Cambrian explosion, ako ang nag-circle din nigawas ang mga arthropods. Okay? Arthropods, this is actually one of the phyla. Arthropods consist of katong mga segmented nga mga legs. Okay? Arthro, which means joint. Okay? Pods are for feet. So, jointed ang mga feet. So, makita ninyo din what are these arthropods? Nigawas na dito ang mosquitoes, butterflies, spiders, dragonflies, ants, beetles, etc. These are actually arthropods, and they already persisted or existed sa Cambrian explosion. Okay? So, take a look at this one here. These are actually actual fossils of the Cambrian explosion. These trilobites, this is actually a common fossil. That's actually a complex animal, ang trilobites. Okay? Complex na sila, but evolution can never find even one single intermediate nga mo-push sa origin sa trilobite back to down to the evolutionary timeline. Walay not even a single organism nga mahimong intermediate sa trilobite. Okay? The trilobite is actually ni-extinct na ng trilobite karon. What else? The Ejacarans. Okay? The Ejacarans. Ejacarans are groups of animals that are mainly soft-bodied. Okay? They actually live sa Ejacaran. That's actually the Cambrian and the Precambrian. Tunga-tunga na siya. Okay? So, kana siya nga mga organisms, the bilateral symmetry. I don't know if you are familiar with the bilateral symmetry. When you say bilateral symmetry, that's the mirror image of an organism. A human body is bilateral. Okay? Your left side corresponds to your right side. Mirror image. Okay? Now, if an organism in biology, if an organism is possessing a bilateral symmetry nga characteristic, that organism is considered advanced or complex. But yet, these are actually existing even before the Cambrian explosion. The bilateral symmetry already existed even before the Cambrian explosion. So, complex na siya daan. What else? Other nga mga organisms found sa kaning gitawag nato Cambrian nga mga fossils. They are actually, though some of them are actually extinct, but they already possess kaning gitawag natong complicated nga mga features. They already have eyes, they already have kaning nervous systems, okay? They already have legs. Those are actually complex nga mga behaviors or characters, but yet they are already found unexpectedly dito sa Cambrian era. Okay? So, hinani na siya, this is actually an illustration. Okay? Ang Cambrian is hinani na siya. Supposing there are two neighbors, ang ilahang lote is gitunga lang yun sa gamay kayo nga crack. Okay? Siguro isa lang ka-tile. So kung moingon ko, natulog ko, pagkaugma, ang katong akong neighbor is nasa ako ang tugkaran, mangutan ako, how did you arrive sa ako ang territory? Moingon siya nga, niambak na ko. That is actually possible, di ba? Niambak ko siya, naabot siya sa kuha, even though nga crack rin nag-separate sa mua, mga 12 inches nga crack. Possible siya, dili. Possible. What if, moingon tag 1 meter ang kadako sa crack between our lands? Niingon siya nga, niambak siya. Will I believe him? Possible? Yes, it is possible. What about ibutang tag mga 10 meters? Possible? Mayon tayo nga possible, pero kinahanglan kag maghimo kag bridge or na kay troso baka nga latayan. What about 100 meters? Murag maglison na kag una-una kinahanglan na kag taga DPWH. What about 1 kilometer ang distance sa crack? That is impossible. Okay? What about 1,000 kilometers? 10,000 kilometers? Okay? So, magkahimo siyang imposible. Kung moingon siya nga, niambak ra siya sa ako ang tugkaran overnight, moingon ka nga imposible magyud kaayo. That's what happened sa Cambrian explosion. Okay? That's what happened sa Cambrian explosion. Nga, nikalit na siya ka-complex. Mura siya ni-jump 10,000 kilometers. Ang crack na mo, ang distance sa crack is 10,000 kilometers. Ni-jump siya overnight. And it is, kung maingon ka, that is, mahurot na lang ang number, according to statistics, mahurot na lang ang number sa universe, dili pa gyud siya makahitabo. Kung sa ilahin pa ito, mahurot ang kanang probabilistic nga resources of the universe, it will not happen. Hinana siya ka-imposible. Okay. So, dito sa fossilized soft tissues. Okay, so unsa may big deal aning fossilized soft tissues. Take note that when you say fossilization is a gradual process where living organisms' body or traces were imprinted in sedimentary rocks. So most of these fossils are actually cast kanalang mga agi-agi sa body parts or the bones nga ni solidify. And the least nga part sa imuhang body or body sa usa ka organism nga imuhang makita sa fossil record is ang soft tissue. Okay? Because ang soft tissue, dali ra gyud kay na siya ma-degrade. Dali ra kay na siya ma-decompose. But, mao ni naay interesting ang mga findings. But recent archaeological findings unearthed soft tissues that defy geological time. Millions and millions of years. Iha nang gi-defy. Okay? It existed. Okay? What else? This defies the gradual fossilization process. Because fossilization, if you have a background, so this is just a little review. When you say fossilization, if an organism dies, okay, decompose siya, ang mahibilin anak niya is bukog na lang yun. Kay decompose, mara may harder na components sa organism. Matabunan siya og sediments, and then matabunan pang yung lain nga sediment, and then later on, ma-excavate after millions of years. Okay? Ma-excavate siya, so naakay fossil records. So, kung tanaw na to ang process sa sedimentation, that takes hundreds of years. Okay? And why is it nga na-fossilized ang soft tissues? Kung hundreds of years exposed to the factors or elements of the natural world, dapat mo ma-degrade na tan siya. But why is it nga naa siya fossilized nga mga tissues? So here, these are actually some of the images that I got nga naay mga fossilized tissues sa bones. So discoveries of soft tissues from different locations possess a great challenge to the aging nga process. Animal tissues, we have to remember that animal tissues are easily decomposed. Okay? Easily decomposed, pero naay ni-exist sa fossil records. And this is interesting. In 2018, scientists were able to make fossils inside a laboratory in less than 24 hours. Okay? Akong gibutang din ha ang link. Yung nga, fake news na siya. Okay? No, it's not. That's actually one of the breakthroughs sa science in 2018. They were able to make fossils inside a laboratory in less than 24 hours. Okay? So siguro nasa inyong mind, what's the implication ani? Nga 24 hours. So sige lang, we will go to that later on. Okay? So let's go to the missing links. Okay? Ever heard of missing links? Okay, so when you say missing links, ang evolution na good, more siya chain. Nga dapat, ang kani siya nga transition will lead to this transition, kini po siya nga organism will lead to this, hinahinay siya, that is actually chain. So naay gitawag nga itong missing links. But the news is, the missing links, these missing links are still missing. Okay? Mo nang the missing links. Okay? So, take a look at this one. My favorite bird, the Archaeopteryx. Okay? Archaeopteryx, I think there are 12 kabuok ng mga fossils sa Archaeopteryx. Archaeopteryx is a very interesting or intriguing fossils because they said that this is the missing link from reptile to bird. Kaya hinani magod ni siya ang ato lang kuanan sa vertebrate, ang evolution sa vertebrate. Naguna ang fishes. Okay? Naguna ang fishes. Hangtod nisunod ang mga amphibians. Pag human sa amphibians, na ay reptiles. Okay? Ang reptiles, either nahimo siyang bird or nahimo siyang humans. So from water to land. Nakita ninyo ang transition niya from water to land. Mao na siya ang hypothesis. Okay? So, Archaeopteryx is very important. Kay mao ni siya ningon sila nga celebrated kaning Archaeopteryx. Mao ni siya ang missing link from reptile to bird. Okay? Nga naman, ang Archaeopteryx, na siya'y feather. Okay? Of course, that is a bird. Bird na siya, avian na siya nga characteristic ang feather. However, ang Archaeopteryx na ay ngipon. Kung kakitag manok nga na ngipon, di ba? Wala gyud langgam nga na ngipon. Okay? That is actually sa kaning mga terrestrial nga mga animals. Okay? What else? Archaeopteryx is na siya'y scales, na ay himbis. So maingon ta nga mao na nga ang Archaeopteryx is siguro hypothetically ni siya ang bridge sa reptiles ug ang bird nga evolution. However, take note again, okay, nga there is no intermediates that can actually point out nga this Archaeopteryx really descended from reptiles. Okay? Wala gyud kay makakita. Di nimo makitaan ang intermediate ng mga fossils. Okay. This is actually another illustration here. That's how birds evolve, okay, to make them fly. Okay? So, one cartoon is niingon nga siguro ang katong reptile ang iyang kanunon is mulupad. Siguro insect. Sige niya gukod hangtod nga nakaton na po siya lupad. Mo nga nana dayoy bird. Okay? That's evolution. Okay? That's evolution. And you can find that one in a lot of biology textbooks. Okay? You can actually find that one in a lot of biology textbooks. That's how it is presented. Okay. So what else? This one, another celebrated nga missing link, the tiktaalik. Okay? Tiktaalik is another celebrated nga missing link. So when you say tiktaalik, kanang pinaknas-tunga-tunga, take note kato akong giingon, fishes, amphibians, than reptiles. Okay? So, ang fossils sa tiktaalik, they considered tiktaalik as the intermediate between the fishes and the reptiles or the amphibians. Ang tiktaalik. So, hinanan siya. Okay? Pag tanaw siguro sa isda, makabot niya ang kaning mabaw-mabaw, hangtod nga ang iyang kapay, di ba kapay man sa isda. Okay? Ang iyang kapay is nahimong legs. Okay? So, siguro half lang sa iyang naong hangtod nga na-expose sa land. Okay? Later on, katunga na gyud, hangtod nga 3/4, hangtod nga whole body na gyud siya over time. Okay? That is evolution. Okay? And they presented that way in a lot of biology textbooks. What about this one? Your ancestors. Okay? So, this one, chimpanzee. Okay? Chimpanzee is actually kanang gi-consider siya nga ancestors, one of the ancestors sa human beings, sa Homo sapiens. Okay? So chimpanzees exist even until today. Correct? Human beings, the Homo sapiens, of course, undeniably you are here, so it's still existing. And in the middle are your intermediates. Okay? However, these are actually missing. Okay? These are actually missing. So the missing links are still missing. Okay? What about this one? Lucy. Ever heard of Lucy? Okay. Lucy was once a celebrated archaeological find since it was thought to be the missing link in the evolution of man. So, actually, Lucy, giconsider siya nga significant siya because this is the first nga ape nga makalakaw in both legs. Di ba, ang apes is, kung ano man siya, assisted man sa ilang head. Okay? Pero Lucy, giconsider siya nga, siya ang first nga nibarog na ape. Okay? Siya ang first nga nibarog nga ape. So, yun sila nga, siguro, mauni siya ang time nga ni-evolve ang human beings. Later on, it was found out that some of her bones were that of a modern-day baboon. Okay? And actually, there are a lot of fraudulent nga mga activities in the fossil records. Daghan ka siyang frauds ang fossil records. You talk about the Piltman, you talk about the Nebraska man, okay? You talk about a lot of these creatures. And last year, di ba, na ay Homo philippinensis, di ba? Homo philippinensis. Heard of the Homo philippinensis? The first human beings in the Philippines. Na dito, that was actually one of the breakthroughs sa archaeology last year or this year, early this year. Okay. So, as of today, many dismiss Lucy as the intermediate, as the ancestor, one of the ancestors of human beings. What about morphological stasis? This is actually interesting. When you say morphological stasis, modern organism seems to be similar anatomically if compared with the supposed ancestors. What else? This is interesting since even small invertebrates and plant parts have little changes over millions of years of evolution, and plants and vertebrates are least likely to be fossilized. Supposedly, di siya ma-fossilized. Kay soft ra yun kaya na sila. Okay? So, when you say morphology, it pertains to body forms and structures. When you say stasis, static. Okay? Static. So, there is this what we call morphological stasis. For instance, kini. On your left, you have the fossilized dragonfly. Does it change? Not that much. Okay? Not that much morphologically. Okay? But there are dragonflies. Mind you, there are dragonflies that are a meter long. Okay? Na yung mga dragonflies nga more than a meter long. Okay? But they are still dragonflies. Morphologically, they are still dragonflies. Ni gamay lang. Okay? They are still dragonflies. What else? Turtles. That is actually 50 or 100 years, 100 million years of evolution. Does it change? Siguro na yung mga changes sa colors, but it's not that much. It's not really that significant. Okay? What about this one? Ginkgo. Okay? That's a leaf. Supposedly following fossilization nga process which takes hundreds and hundreds of years. Why is it nga? It was there. Na siya cast. Okay? And I'm just, ang kanisiya nga mga leaves, there are literally countless numbers of kaning plant nga mga fossils found in the fossil records. And it doesn't change that much. Ginkgo. Okay? So, we don't have any ginkgo in the Philippines. Korea. Daghan kayo o ginkgo sa Korea or Japan. What about this one? The ferns. Fossil records of ferns. It's still there. Okay? We still have the ferns. Okay? We still have the ferns. That one. Mosquitoes. You see, even mosquitoes, gagmay na gyud kay ng mosquitoes. Supposedly, ni kamatay na, degrade na siya, or decompose na siya. But, they actually surpassed or survived the fossilization, the harsh fossilization process. But it's still there. Okay? What about this one? Jellyfish, or the sea jellies. It's not really jellyfish. It's the box jellyfish. Okay? Soft naman kayo na siya nga part, but it actually left its marks sa fossil records. And it doesn't change that much. Okay? So, what did Darwin have to say about missing links? Actually, Darwin is aware of the kanang gitawag natin Cambrian explosion. But let us see kung unsa iyang gisulti mismo iyang gisulat gi-include niya sa katong iyang book nga Origin of Species. And books, biology books, love to skip this part. This is what he is to say. But just in proportion, as this process of extermination has acted on an enormous scale, so must the number of intermediate varieties which have formerly existed be truly enormous. Why then is not every geological formation and every stratum full of such intermediate links? Geology assuredly does not reveal any such finely graduated organic chain, and this perhaps is the most obvious and serious objection which can be urged against the theory, and he is pertaining to his own theory of evolution. The explanation lies, as I believe, in the extreme imperfection of the geological record. Okay? So even Darwin, who hypothesized that there should be, following his famous evolution nga theory, there should be countless chains of intermediate fossils. But fossil records nga nag-start na siya 1500s or 1400s pa lang, nag-start na ng digging of fossils, even until today, daghan pa gyud kayo ang missing links. Siguro moingon ta nga 98 or 99% missing. Okay? 99% missing. So, mao nang atong gikuan, is it really an exemption to the rule or is it the rule? Nga nigawas na sila daan. Okay? So, if there are hundreds of thousands of individuals per intermediate before an evolutionary step takes place, why there seems to be a data deficient in finding this intermediate data deficient? Regardless of who are you going to talk sa nga paleontologist, whether it is a creationist or an evolutionist or an atheist, still there is this deficiency sa fossil record na data. This is especially the question for bigger animals like dinosaurs, whales, elephants, giraffes, and hippos. So, okay na maka-excuse ta sa mga bacteria, sa mga single, sa mga microscopic na mga organisms. But dinosaurs, say for example, Tyrannosaurus rex, T-Rex, dagko na magyud kay to siya. Why is it that we could not find any intermediates nga mo lead towards the formation of T-Rex nga dagko na magyud kay to siya? Okay? Nikalit lang yung gawas ang T-Rex. What about whales? Katong atong gipakita ganiha, those are just hypothetical. Okay? Ang whales. What about giraffe? Did we find a giraffe nga kung gamay pa kato siya, usa lang kabuk ang vertebra sa iyang neck? Can we find 2 nga vertebra sa iyang neck? So unod 3, hangtod na 4, hangtod na 5, hangtod na 6, hangtod nga niabot og 20 vertebra. No, we could not find such things. Okay? That is still missing. Okay? That is why even Darwin actually acknowledged this missing link. Okay? So the missing links remain to be missing. Okay? So dinhin nata, what is intelligent design? Dinhin nata mo come in. Okay? When you say intelligent design, this is a theory that life have arisen from an intelligent cause. Okay? Life have arisen from intelligent cause. So this challenges the traditional Darwinian evolution where it believed in the gradual development and appearance of life forms. Okay, take note that evolution, the product of, or evolution is actually a product of random nga banging or kanang interact ang mga molecules. Random lang yun siya hangtod nga na form. But it does not follow our experience. Take note nga sa atong experience katong ato ang question ganiha nga katong amakan, katong mga balay. Take note by our experience, only an intelligent mind can actually do or produce kanang mga objects that are actually designed or having a lot of information. Okay? Only an intelligent mind based on our experience. Mabita to katong akong gikuan ganiha. I don't have to throw this one to test that there is really gravity. Because I know that by experience that when I throw this one, it will always go down because of gravity. Okay? So based on my experience, based on our experience, only an intelligent mind can actually produce katong mga naay mga designs. Okay? Ang baboy, makahimo ba nagbalay nga naay blueprint? Ang baboy ba? Okay? Wala, di ba? Okay, may tag spiders. Yeah, spiders, beautiful kayong spiders. Because that's actually part of their kaning existence nila. Okay? Okay. So, is intelligent design religion? Okay? Sorry to say, but this is a no. Intelligent design is not religion. Okay? Nor it is a creation nga science. No, it's not. Okay? So, but some concepts of intelligent design may be friendly to religious groups such as this group. May be friendly ang iyahang application. So, there are philosophical and scientific publications and researches that deals with the impossibility of life arising from random chance. Have you heard of abiogenesis? In biology, naatay gitawag nga abiogenesis, pero gi-eliminate na siya. Nga abiogenesis is that non-life can produce life. Okay? Pero hagbay na siyang gi-eliminate. Wala na gilabot sa biology because it has not been proven that non-life makaproduce yag life. For example, ang kaning ato ang bench dinhi is makaproduce yag either plant or animal out from the bench. We know per experience that only human beings can produce human beings. Okay? A bacteria can produce a certain species of bacterium. A dog will always produce a dog. A mango tree can always produce a mango tree. And that was not, wala pa na siya ma-disprove even until now. That a mango tree can produce, kanang talong or kamote or not. It's still mango tree. Okay? So, you see, even sa ato ang karon, even sa ato ang common sense ba, even if you are not a scientist, you know that chicken will always be chicken, okay? Rats will always be rats, cows will always be cows, even without any degrees at all. But science kept on denying these facts. Okay? So, intelligent design does not identify who or what is the designer since it is not testable by scientific means. Okay? Take note nga, intelligent design, Buddhists will claim that the designer will be Buddha. Okay? The Muslims will claim that the designer will be Allah. Okay? The Jewish, it's Yahweh. For Christians, it's God. And to some extent, scientists believe that there are aliens. Siguro ang nagdala sa life din his kalibutan. It could be the designer. Okay? So mo na nga intelligent design is not actually pertaining to a religious belief. Because you cannot test God inside a laboratory. Applying the scientific method, di mo ma-test that there is God, that Buddha existed inside a laboratory. Di mo na, because science is, mangita magyuna sila og facts or evidences. So ID is not religion. Okay? But what can ID do, or intelligent design theory do with your faith? Suggestion na lang ni siya. Implication nila to. As Seventh-day Adventist, what can ID theory do with your faith? Though ID is a scientific endeavor, it is friendly to religious beliefs. That's what we discussed ganiha. The Cambrian explosion can account to special creation. This is where our faith comes in. Okay? It can account to special creation. How did these organisms appeared suddenly? Okay? How did these organisms appear suddenly? Take note that in science, we always have to seek for a better explanation of things. That's theory. That's why ID, or the intelligent design, is a theory because it challenges the traditional concept of evolution. It challenges here nga, di man nato ma-prove that evolution, it cannot best explain that evolution is actually the one responsible why organisms change. Di man nato ma-prove. So we need another explanation. That's why intelligent design comes in. Okay? Di na mo come in ang intelligent design. What else? Soft tissues can signify a sudden burial which may lead to Noah and the great flood. Okay? Imagine nimo, in less than 24 hours, naanay fossils. Natabunan na form ang fossils. And there's only one catastrophe or phenomena that can bury, okay, that can bury fossils or that can bury organisms deep down into the ground overnight. And that's a great flood. Okay? That's a great flood. So we can actually connect this one. Okay? That is why sa katong Intelligent Design Society of the Philippines namo nga meeting namo, maingon gyud mi nga we have to stick sa science. Kay lain-lain man mig pagtuo, na Baptist, na ay Pentecostal, lain-lain may magpagtuo. So we have to stick sa among group is we have to stick sa science. Depende na dahil kung asa ka buadto or unsa imong pagtuo, unsaon na nimo pag-interpret, that will support your faith. And this is how I will support my faith because I am an Adventist since birth even until now. Okay? I am a product of the Adventist system of education. So Lapu-Lapu SDA Elementary School, Isbisayan Academy, Mountain View College. So din ha. So actually, I will have to say this that there are times, naagi time that I started to doubt the creation. Okay? Naagi times that because grabe kayo ang book ba, ang science book is kanabitawng grabe kay ka-compelling ang evidences nito kay nga pagka-present. But later on, I realized that my faith is correct. And because of this theory of intelligent design, my faith in God as the Creator just become stronger. Okay? So what else? So belief in a designer cannot affect a person's scientific inquiries. Maingon din sila, this is mao ganing kuan nga creationist na siya, it cannot do science. Okay? But take note that a belief in a designer cannot affect a person's scientific inquiries. Scientific researches slowly and gradually reveal the impossibilities of life arising from chance, randomness, and natural selection. And let's take a look at some. Though gamay ra gyud kay ni siya nga akong i-enumerate, but let us take some of these greatest minds sa history sa science who believe that there is God. Okay? Let's start with Isaac Newton, the greatest physicist of all time. Okay? Johannes Kepler, Nicholas Copernicus, Galileo Galilei, Blaise Pascal, Anton van Leeuwenhoek, Carl Linnaeus, Gregor Mendel, Louis Pasteur, Joseph Lister, Wilhelm Röntgen, the father of X-ray, J.J. Thomson, Michael Faraday, Heinrich Hertz, Georges Cuvier, John Dalton, Robert Boyle, Marie Curie, Rosalind Franklin, Maurice Wilkins, Albert Einstein. Okay? So those are actually some of the greatest names of science. And there are actually a lot of scientists nga wala na akong i-include because mahurot ang atong slide. Okay? Lots and lots of scientists, fathers of branches of science, chemistry, physics, biology. Okay? There are those who are God-fearing. Okay? And you know what? Charles Darwin, before he became a naturalist, he was bound to become a minister. Okay? Siguro mga third year or fourth year siya sa college niya to become a minister before he decided to be with the HMS Beagle, katong boat nga ni travel around the world. But he is actually bound to become a minister. Okay? So I know that even Darwin, in his mind, naana sa iyang mind ang creation account. Okay? So take a look at this Nobel Prize. So last week, di ba, hinatagay na sa Nobel Prize laureate. Let's take a look at the graph kung pila of these laureates. Take note that Nobel Prize, mao ni pinaka-highest nga prize sa any researcher. Okay? Pila na siya? 65.4 are actually Christians katong ni-receive sa Nobel Prize. 21.1 are Jewish. What else? Na ay mga Buddhist, na ay Muslims, na ay Hindu. Kung itapok ni mong Buddhist, Muslim, Hindu, Christian, and Jewish, 80% of the Nobel Prize laureates believe that there is a God. There is a designer. So you see, if you want to pursue science, go ahead. If you believe in God and still become a scientist, go ahead. It will never stop you from becoming a scientist. In fact, it can even give you more inspiration to know the power, the creative power of God. Okay? So, last year, there is a movement known as a scientific descent from Darwinism where over 1,000 PhD scientists worldwide have signed the list. Meaning to say, they all have already ditched, okay? Ilahan nang gihawa ang ilang self, ilahan nang gidetach ilang self from the Darwinian concept of the origin of life. And it is still growing. There is actually a movement going on in science. There is a movement going on in science. So let me end this talk with a quote from Isaac Newton. He said, "He who thinks half-heartedly will not believe in God, but he who really thinks has to believe in God. Okay? So, good afternoon and happy Sabbath sa tanan. I don't know if na ba question and answer? Wala? Na question? Mo kuan ba question? Wala na? Na question? Wala na? Okay na? Na? Oh, sige, mo entertain siguro kung mga 3 questions, at most 3 questions. Kaya ron di po masayang ako.